Hey everybody, this is Nate from Geezer Skate, and this episode we're talking about community. No, not that great sitcom starring Donald Glover and Joel McHale. No, in this episode we're talking about the skate community. But before we start, if you could hit that subscribe button, leave us a like and a comment, and maybe check out the links below for some of our merch. Help to support the channel by doing one of those things. We would greatly appreciate it. So, what exactly is a community? Well, in its simplest form, a community is a group of individuals coming together with common interests or common goals.
Okay, hi, I'm Nick Stanoshek. I've been skating since, I believe it was 1986. Community, so I love it for a couple things. I love the early mornings. I meet a bunch of the older guys who have either been skating or most of the time they stopped. And they're like, they realized during the pandemic, I need to do something, and why don't I go skate? And then they realize that freedom. It's like, oh wow, skateboarding gives me this freedom that nothing else gives me. And the other thing too is, along the way, I've met a lot of young kids too who are like new into skating and stuff, and they need advice. They have questions, and I'm able to be that person, kind of that elder statesman in skating who can help them out. And not only that, thankfully I'm at a place now where, buying a deck or even a complete, if I have to do it, it's not a huge deal like it is for some of these kids. So last year I think I ended up giving out 4 completes to kids who I saw them skating. You could see they have that passion. They really love it, and they're trying really hard, and but they're on garbage boards from Walmart, or they're on a penny board that they got from grandma because they wanted a skateboard. And so I just gave away full completes to them, and I love going to the parks and seeing how much better they've gotten over time, and just seeing how they progress. And it's one of the things you said, it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, it doesn't matter what your beliefs are. We're all just skaters. It's all just about skating. And the biggest secret in skating, I think so many people don't understand, is the person who has the most fun, that's who's winning at skateboarding.
And well, what better community to talk about than the skate community? Because the skate community, whether it's skateboarders, rollerbladers, quad skaters, scooter kids, we'll include you in there too. We're all coming together with common interest of rolling around on multiple wheels, sometimes on a board, sometimes the wheels are strapped to our feet, but it's just all about getting out and having fun.
Though skateboarding is technically a solo sport, I find it much more encouraging and motivating when there's a group of friends that get together with me to skate, or just one friend. If there's someone there to motivate you and encourage you, I think it makes all the difference.
The cool thing is you can get together, whether you go into a park or a street spot or wherever. You can meet up with a group of individuals who may range in age from single digit numbers, 5, 6, 7 years old, on up to 60s, 70s, 80-year-olds. That's the wonderful thing about this is, as long as you're, still out there being active and doing this, you're going to be a part of this community. And the awesome thing that I've found, while being a part of this community is, just, how broad and wide, the interests are, the people that are a part of this.
It's something I actually do at work as well. I present to people about wellness and community and, what I call individual contributor sports. This is one of those, right? And what I mean by that is that there's no faking it, right? It takes hard work. That's all there is to it. It's just hard work and hours and weeks and months and years of practicing to do this thing, right? To ride this skateboard, which is something that we don't normally do. Essentially, with individual contributor sports, when you get a bunch of people together like that you automatically have one thing in common, right? Like, you are the type of person that has the character to put in that hard work and commit and do it. And when you get in a place with a bunch of people that are just like that together, for somehow you end up with people that have a lot of common traits, right? And you end up with this group of people that's just like rife for a community to come together. Because I know that you, like everybody here, has put in the work, right? Like a lot of people get on a skateboard, and so I come from a background of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling and stuff like that. So it's very much the same there. And when I started skateboarding, I had really been interested in the whole community aspect of the Jiu-Jitsu community, because it's very much the same. And even though you're fighting each other, right, it's still like you get up and you're like, oh, I appreciate it, you're best friends, right? Very intimate. This lacks a little bit of the intimacy of human contact, but it's much the same environment, because I think the people who stick with it have that set of characteristics, right, that they all appreciate in other people as well. And that's why I feel like when skate parks and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling and like several other things kind of have a different community than you would get in team sports, which is why I make that distinction of individual contributor sports. Yeah, it's amazing. It builds. Another thing about it is doing that, and the reason that they say it's good for kids, like some people do, people that understand it. The same way that sports and playing an instrument, that's another good one. The same way, I don't know if you play any instruments.
I do, yeah.
Then how often do you get around other people that play guitar or whatever it is, and you're all buddies, right? Like right away. Because that's hard. It's an individual contributor. It's not a sport, but it's a thing. Yeah. It's all on you. Like I can say I can play the guitar or ride a skateboard or whatever, but when it comes down to it, like when I pick up the guitar or get on the mats or get on a skateboard, everybody immediately knows whether I was telling the truth about being able to skateboard, right?
Dude, we got lucky.
There's no way to fake it, and that is a real, like, having those people together. Like, those are traits that I really appreciate in people, and that's part of why that community thing happens. I think why it's good for kids. Work ethic, right? Yeah, like that's the same reason that people say. More people have probably heard martial arts is good for kids, right? It gives you that structure and discipline and stuff. And it's because it's hard to learn, right? You have to stick with it. It builds that work ethic, teaches you how to do that. And skateboarding is the same. Yeah, so it's similar in a lot of ways. It has those amazing kind of attributes that it builds. You have to stick with it.
As long as you're rolling, that's all that matters.
I'm Daryl Collins. I am from Philly originally, and I've been in Amarillo for a while. When I moved to Dallas, I've been skating for 3 years, on and off. The community of skateboarding, how can I put this? It is the most inclusive place I've ever been in. As far as, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter how good you are. Skateboarding welcomes you. That is what I believe is the future, and I honestly think if everyone started to skate, the world would be a better place. Like, quite literally. It takes focus, it takes concentration, so it's almost like meditation in a form, and you really can't get no better than progressing every day, and that's also what it allows you to do. It allows you to figure out what self-development is for you, and it also helps you establish what you really want to do in your life and your goals. And that's what I thought all sports did, but not like skateboarding, because there's such a freeness about it. Even when you have a coach coaching you, it's still a super free thing. Eventually you get to make up your own tricks, in my opinion. I've seen some crazy stuff, and that's probably one of my goals, is to be as unique as I can whenever I get to that level. What has skateboarding taught me also? Skateboarding has taught me about spirituality. There's a beautiful bumblebee. It's taught me that realistically, take care of yourself, take care of who you are, take care of your insides, eat good, drink water, take in nutrients, and be kind to everyone. Everyone has their own situation that they're going through, and everyone has had their own past situation, and everyone is only being who they can be in that moment. So therefore, that means you have to accept everyone for who they are and be kind. That's what I've learned from skateboarding. The biggest lesson in my opinion, and that's from it being so inclusive, and someone falls, everyone's like, yo, you good? And you're like, and then everyone moves on. It's always super nice, and if you're hurt, everyone comes and helps you out. It's a very, very good thing. And I am very thankful specifically to God for bringing me to skateboarding and the universe. Can't forget about everything. Everything that breathes has life. Respect it. That's it.
So when we're out here rolling around, we're cheering each other on. We want the best for each other. We want to see each other succeed. We want to build up rather than tear down.
What's up, Nate? And shout out Geezer Skate Co. I was thinking about making this video before I actually made it, and I was trying to think of what skateboarding means in the context of a community. And it was a little hard for me to wrap my head around in a segment that's going to be a minute or two, but I'm going to attempt to do that here for you, Nate, and for your channel. So skateboarding and community intertwining for me happened in about 2004. Now I started skating in 2003, but in 2004 was when I met my best friend Neil Aguilar, and that was where I really figured out that skateboarding could be the catalyst between not having a friend and having a friend and creating a community. Because after I met Neil, him and I skated and we created a skate crew called Garland Skate Crew. And through that, we met our friends, I already knew Nick and Ryan, but I introduced them to Neil. And then we created this skate crew where we would skate every single night. And then from there, in 2005, I started working at Fast Forward in Collin Creek Mall, the skate shop, if anybody remembers out there. And I worked there for about 5 months, but those 5 months were life-changing because from there, I met Shane, I met Sam, I met April, I met Diamond, I met all of these people in the skateboarding world that I was able to meet. And then from them, I met other people, and from there, the community just kept expanding. Because if there's one thing that I've learned through skateboarding is that people aren't, for the most part, gatekeepers. I know a lot of people like to think of like Thrasher and places like that as gatekeeping skateboarding, but when it gets down to an individual level, it really isn't gatekeeping at all. It's actually really easy to meet other people and meet people through other people, and the community just expands as you get into skateboarding. It's something that's like really special, and it's something I've never found in any other thing I've ever done, whether it's baseball or my professional life. Like there's no other thing in this world that can work as a catalyst like skateboarding does. And from that, I've been able to foster a huge community through my YouTube channel, and I've also been able to just meet so many people I would not have met if it weren't for skateboarding and skateboarding's community. So I guess that's my kind of short summarization of skateboarding and community in my life. Thanks for having me, Nate.
Again, between ages, between genders, you name it, left, right, it doesn't matter. We want to see you rolling with us. That's what makes this community great, is everyone coming together. Goat Skate Day, look at that. They're getting bigger and bigger every single year.
I'm Greg Kramer. I've been skating on and off for about 15 years now. Love it. I just kind of picked it back up again probably about a year and a half ago. So I'm kind of still learning and progressing that way. Something I love about skateboarding and with the community is, you're always meeting new people. For example, last Christmas I was out skating at Roanoke, met a couple older guys. By May, we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, skating ditches at Ditch Slap right here. So you never know who you're going to meet, and the community is so supportive, and we just love it.
And apart from that, communities are coming together to lobby their city councils to get skate parks built. So that way they have even more places to come to gather, to meet up, to hang out.
Andrew Boyle, McKinney, Texas. During COVID, I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna get a skateboard, I'm gonna throw it down, I'm gonna go get the kids on the other side of the road. And my wife said, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I said, I'm gonna ask for permission, I'm just gonna do it. And my daughter and I started going to the McKinney skate park during COVID. I showed up there, and there were about 5 other old guys out there like me on skateboards, and I'm like, what is going on? This is the craziest thing. And since then, we've started a group in GroupMe, the app, and it's just grown from there. A group of about 15 of us, and we skate just about every Saturday. Phenomenal group of guys. Everybody's got mortgages, kids, jobs, and really good group of fellas. The best part of it is skating on Saturday and getting tacos in the afternoon. Come join us.
Sometimes when you come out to the park, hardly any skating gets done because you're hanging out with your friends. And the awesome thing is when you come to a skate park or, a hot skate spot, you may not know anybody there when you first get there, But I can guarantee you, by the time you leave, you have at least a couple of new friends, possibly even more than a dozen new friends.
What's up, it's Lou from the Lou Crew. I think skating with a group of people is a whole lot funner than skating by yourself, because you got all this hype. People can hype you up, and you can land stuff way better, and people be coaching you and stuff, telling you what you're doing wrong, and they help. That's usually best, take notes from other people's and see what they're doing, and it's fun, man. Just skating with a bunch of people. I'm over here with Lee. He's part of the Lou Crew too. What do you think about skating with a group of people?
The camaraderie. It's always fun to skate with a group of people. You always got the hype, everybody, woo! But yeah, group of people is always way better than skating by yourself.
Usually, if you're skating by yourself, man, you can get hurt and there'll be no one there to, God forbid you break something, someone needs to take you to the hospital. So it's always good to be around someone that can take you to the hospital if you get hurt or injured. Like yesterday, my boy DJ broke his collarbone, and it could have been a whole lot worse, And there would have been no one there to take him to the hospital if he was skating by himself. But luckily, he's all right. He's doing good. But man, just skating with all these people from out of town or with the locals, it's always fun. So keep skating.
Every time you see them, you're going to be stoked, and whether or not you're skating great, it doesn't matter. You were there hanging out with your community, and and that's another thing. The community can build you up, they can pump you up, they can get you psyched and hyped, and maybe even help you land that trick that you've been trying forever. And even more than that, a community can push creativity. You can see someone trying something, you're like, oh, I never thought about approaching it that way. Let me try that. That happened to me recently at the Garland skate park, and I just, someone did something, I was like, I never would have tried that line, but because I saw them try it, I was like, and it became one of my new favorites, and that was awesome.
My name's Hudson.
Awesome. How old are you, Hudson?
I am 12 years old.
Awesome. And what do you think about the skateboard community?
Skateboard community, it's I can't find a word for it. I find them awesome, but some of them, there's only a small fraction of them that are, crap. But these geezers right here, they're good, they're cool,
Do you enjoy hanging out with skaters?
I do, yeah. They're really cool people. And we can always bond something over, doing stuff like this.
Awesome. Well, I love it. Thank you, Hudson.
No problem.
Skating, whatever type it is a solitary activity by design. You roll on a skateboard by yourself. You ride your roller skates or your scooter or whatever by yourself. But that community that comes around this activity is bigger and better and more important than just rolling around by yourself. I mean, sure, it's nice to roll around by yourself to maybe, build up confidence or, work on a trick in secret and then show it off to all your friends when you get together again finally. But I think, skating by yourself is more the exception than the rule. I think, most of us, we crave that, community, and, that's such an awesome thing about, what we do here is that community that comes together around, skating of all types. I'm so thankful to be a part of this, and I hope that you all have found your tribe wherever you live. And if you haven't, reach out. Facebook, there's all kinds of groups on there for, skate communities, Reddit, check around on Instagram. There's definitely ways to find and meet up with people, and I think you're gonna find a great group wherever you are. We appreciate you watching and checking us out, and if you would, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, a comment, check out one of these next videos coming up, and until next time, keep skating and stop aging.